He had everything a man could want: power, status, a wife, a company built by his own hands. Then he noticed her. She didn't chase him, she didn't tempt him. She simply existed, and that was enough to ruin everything. This is not a love story. This is a story about desire, control, and the moment a line is crossed, when going back is no longer possible.
Adrian noticed Lena on her third day. Not because she was loud, not because she tried to impress anyone, because she didn't. She sat quietly in meetings, eyes lowered, taking notes with careful precision. When she spoke, it was brief, always correct. Her presence was soft, but it lingered, like a scent you couldn't place. Adrian told himself it was nothing. He was married, he was disciplined, he was in control. Yet every morning he found himself arriving earlier. Every afternoon, lingering near her department under the excuse of oversight. Every evening thinking about the way she avoided his gaze, like she already knew what he was trying not to feel. One night, long after the office had emptied, he saw her still at her desk. "You should go home," he said from the doorway. She startled slightly. "I'm almost done, sir." Sir. The word shouldn't have done anything to him, but it did. "You work too hard," Adrian said. She smiled politely. "I like being useful." Something in his chest tightened. He stepped closer, too close. Close enough to notice the faint tremble in her fingers. Close enough to realize she felt it too. "This isn't appropriate," he said quietly. Lena looked up at him then. Really looked. "I didn't do anything," she replied. That was the moment he understood the truth. She wasn't chasing him, he was already lost. And the most terrifying part? He didn't want to be found. Adrian had never brought work home with him before. Not really. Yet that night, as he stood at the floor-to-ceiling windows of his penthouse, city lights bleeding into the dark, Lena's face kept returning uninvited. The way her voice stayed calm while her body betrayed her. The way she'd said, "I didn't do anything," as if she were defending herself against a crime she hadn't committed. Evelyn moved behind him, the soft sound of silk against skin. "You're quiet lately," she said, resting a hand on his back. He didn't turn. "Just tired," Adrian replied. It wasn't a lie, but it wasn't the truth either. She kissed his shoulder. Familiar, careful, predictable. He felt nothing, only the weight of comparison, sharp and cruel. Later that night, when Evelyn slept beside him, Adrian lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying a moment he should have forgotten, the tremble in Lena's hands. The next morning, Adrian changed her schedule. He told himself it was strategic, efficiency, workflow, productivity. But when Lena was told she would now report directly to him, her eyes widened just a fraction too much. Is there a problem with my performance?" she asked. "No," Adrian said. "Quite the opposite." She nodded, accepting it without question, but unease flickered behind her calm expression. Good. He hated himself for thinking that. Their meetings became frequent, too frequent, long after they stopped being necessary. He noticed everything now, how she tucked her hair behind her ear when nervous, how she pressed her lips together when she disagreed but chose silence instead. She was restraint wrapped in beauty, and restraint was something Adrian had mastered his entire life. Until now. One evening, rain streaked the windows of his office like something trying to escape. Lena stood near his desk, holding a folder. "I'll leave this here," she said. "You've been working too long." "So have you," he replied. She hesitated. "I don't mind." "I do." The words came out sharper than intended. She looked up at him, confusion mixing with something else, something unspoken. Adrian stood, slowly circling the desk, stopping far too close. "You should be careful," he said quietly. "This building has rules." Her breath caught. "I follow them. Not all rules are written," he replied. Silence fell between them, thick and dangerous. Then Lena stepped back. "I should go," she said. Adrian watched her leave, his jaw tight, control slipping through his fingers like glass shards. That night, he realized something he could no longer deny. This wasn't desire. It was obsession, and it had already begun to ruin him. Evelyn noticed the silence first. Not the absence of words, but the absence of presence. Adrian still came home on time, still kissed her cheek, still asked about her day, but his eyes were elsewhere, his mind locked behind something she couldn't reach. "You're working too much," she said over dinner, gently. Adrian didn't look up. "This quarter is critical." "It's always critical," she replied. That earned her his attention. Brief, sharp, then gone again. "I'm fine," he said. "Don't turn this into something it isn't." Evelyn nodded, swallowing the rest of her thoughts. She had learned over the years which battles to avoid. That was the first lie. At the office, Lena tried to disappear. She arrived earlier, left later, kept her head down. She avoided the executive floor whenever possible. But avoidance only sharpened Adrian's focus. The more she pulled away, the more he felt the pull tightening inside his chest. "You're late," he said one evening, standing in her doorway. "I stayed to finish the reports," Lena replied, not looking up. "That wasn't a request." She froze. Slowly, she lifted her eyes. "I didn't realize you were waiting." "I wasn't," Adrian said. Another lie. He stepped inside, closing the door behind him. The click of the lock sounded louder than it should have. "You're tense," he observed. "I'm working," she said quietly. He moved closer, not touching, never touching, yet the space between them burned. "You've been avoiding me," Adrian said. "That's not true." "It is," he corrected calmly. "And I want to know why." Her fingers tightened around her pen. "Because this isn't appropriate." Finally. Honesty. Adrian smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "You think I don't know that?" he asked. "I built this company on control, discipline, sacrifice." "Then why?" Lena stopped herself. "Why am I here?" he finished for her. "Why do I notice the way you breathe when I stand too close? Why do I think about you when I shouldn't?" Her pulse thundered visibly at her throat. "You should leave," she whispered. "I should," Adrian agreed. He didn't move. That was the moment Lena understood something terrifying. He wasn't chasing pleasure. He was losing control. Later that night, Adrian sent his driver away. He sat alone in his car, engine off, staring at the dark glass of the office building. Lena's office light was still on. Against his better judgment, he went back inside. She was gathering her things when he entered. "You forgot this," he said, holding out her phone. She took it, their fingers brushing. Electric. Immediate. Lena stepped back as if burned. "Please don't do this." "Do what?" Adrian asked softly. "Make me feel like this is my fault?" That stopped him. For a long moment, they stood in silence, the weight of everything unsaid pressing down on them. "I won't touch you," Adrian said finally. "Not tonight." Her breath shook. "That's not comforting." "No," he agreed. "It's a warning." He turned and left before he could break himself completely. At home, Evelyn was already asleep. Adrian lay beside her, staring into the dark, knowing one thing with brutal clarity. The next line wouldn't blur. It would break. The next change came quietly. Lena didn't notice it at first, only that her days grew heavier, her responsibilities larger. Adrian delegated more work to her, entrusted her with projects meant for senior staff. On paper, it looked like opportunity. In reality, it was proximity. "You don't have to stay late," she said one evening, noticing him still in his office as the floor emptied. "I want to," Adrian replied. That word again, want. It followed her home, lingered in her thoughts, crawled into her sleep. She tried to remind herself of the facts. He was married. He was her employer. He was dangerous in ways that had nothing to do with anger. Yet when he looked at her, she felt seen, and that frightened her more than being wanted. "You're quiet today," he said during a late meeting. "I'm focused." "You're guarded." She met his gaze then, tired of pretending. "Because you don't leave room for mistakes." His eyes darkened. "I don't punish honesty." "That depends on who's being honest," Lena replied. For the first time, something like respect flickered across his face. At home, Evelyn searched for patterns. She noticed the phone turned face down. The late meetings that didn't sound urgent. The way Adrian showered the moment he came home, like he was washing something off. "You're pulling away," she said one night. He didn't deny it. "I'm under pressure," he answered instead. She studied him, the man she had married, the man she still loved. "Pressure doesn't change the way someone looks at you." Adrian stiffened. "What does?" "Guilt," Evelyn said softly. That was the second lie, because this time he said nothing at all. The breaking point came on a Friday. A storm trapped them both in the building. Power flickered. The city below blurred into wet streaks of light. Lena stood by the window, arms crossed, waiting for the rain to ease. "You're afraid of me," Adrian said from behind her. She didn't turn. "I'm afraid of what happens if I'm not." He stepped closer. Close enough that she could feel his breath, steady and restrained. "I won't force you," he said, "but don't pretend this isn't already happening." She turned then, heart pounding. Happening how? He held her gaze, unblinking. "You think about me. You feel it when I'm near. And every day you don't walk away is a choice." "That's not fair," she whispered. "No," he agreed. "It's honest." Silence stretched, fragile as glass. Lena took a step back. "I need boundaries." Adrian nodded slowly. "Then don't come looking for me," he said, "because next time I won't stop at warnings." She left without another word. Adrian stayed, alone in the darkened office, knowing he had just done the one thing he'd sworn never to do. He had given himself permission. Lena submitted her resignation on Monday morning. No explanation, no meeting request. Just a clean professional letter sent to HR and copied, reluctantly, to Adrian. Her hands shook as she pressed send. For the first time in weeks, she felt like she could breathe. That feeling lasted exactly 12 minutes. "Come to my office," Adrian's assistant said, voice clipped. "Now." Lena considered refusing, considered walking straight out of the building and never looking back. Instead, she stood up. The door to his office was open when she arrived. Adrian stood by the window, phone in hand, jaw tight. "You're not leaving," he said without turning. "I've already resigned," Lena replied, keeping her voice steady. "I gave proper notice." "That's irrelevant." She stared at him. "You don't own me." Adrian turned then, slowly. "No. But I built this department around you, your projects, your access. Walking away isn't as simple as you think. That sounds like a threat. It's a reality, he corrected. You're valuable, and I don't discard what's valuable. Her chest tightened. This is exactly why I need to go. He stepped closer. Running won't protect you. From what? She asked. You. His silence was answer enough. Adrian picked up her resignation letter from his desk and tore it in half. Then again, calm, precise. I won't accept it, he said, and HR won't either. Lena felt something cold settle in her stomach. You can't do this, she whispered. I already have. That evening, Evelyn followed instinct instead of reason. Adrian's laptop was still open on his desk at home, something he never allowed. She hesitated only a moment before touching the trackpad. Emails, schedules, meetings, then a name. Lena Moore. Repeated, flagged, prioritized. Evelyn's heart began to race, not with anger, but with dread. She wasn't looking for proof of betrayal. She was looking for confirmation of distance, and she was finding it. The next day, Lena avoided Adrian entirely. She took the stairs, ate lunch at her desk, refused private meetings, but avoidance no longer worked. By evening, she found a note waiting for her. Conference room C, 7:30 p.m. She didn't go. At 7:42, her phone buzzed. You're making this harder than it needs to be. Her reply was immediate. I want professional distance. The typing bubble appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Then stop pretending this is professional. Her breath caught. She shut her phone off. Across the building, Adrian stood alone in the dark conference room, staring at the empty chair where she should have been. Control was slipping, and for the first time, he felt something close to panic. The summons came the next morning, not from Adrian, from legal. Lena sat in the glass-walled conference room, palms pressed together as a senior counsel slid a folder across the table. There's been a restructuring, the woman said calmly. Your role is now classified as sensitive. Lena frowned. Sensitive how? Access to proprietary information, executive-level projects, confidential oversight. Her stomach dropped. And my resignation? The lawyer smiled politely. You're under a 12-month contractual obligation. Early termination would result in penalties. Penalties she couldn't afford. When Lena left the room, she already knew who had done this. Adrian was waiting for her outside, not looming, not angry, calm. You manipulated my contract, she said, voice shaking despite herself. I protected my company, he replied, and my investment. I'm not an asset. No, he said softly. You're a risk. That hurt more than she expected. You promised boundaries, Lena said. I promised not to touch you, Adrian replied. I kept that promise. She laughed once, bitter, broken. You're strangling me with paperwork instead. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. You wanted distance. This is distance. Professional, controlled. Her eyes burned. You don't get to decide what control looks like for me. Adrian held her gaze. Then show me. That night, Evelyn didn't wait. She set his phone on the table between them like evidence. Who is Lena? She asked. Adrian froze. The silence stretched too long. She works for me, he said finally. Everyone works for you, Evelyn replied. That's not what I asked. He looked away. That was enough. I saw the emails, she continued, voice steady but hollow. The late meetings, the schedule changes, the way you disappear even when you're here. Nothing has happened, Adrian said. Not physically, Evelyn answered, but emotionally. You've already left. Her voice cracked then, just slightly. Am I your wife? Or just another obligation? Adrian had no answer. Back at her apartment, Lena stared at her reflection. She looked the same. Same face, same clothes, but something inside her had shifted. She realized then the truth she'd been avoiding. Adrian wasn't forcing her to stay. He was daring her to fight. And the most dangerous part? A small, shameful part of her wanted to see what would happen if she did. Evelyn didn't raise her voice. That was what scared Adrian most. I won't compete, she said, folding her hands neatly in her lap. Not with another woman, not with your work, not with your silence. He stood across from her, suit jacket still on, like he hadn't fully come home in weeks. There is nothing between us, Adrian said. You're imagining. I'm not imagining absence, Evelyn interrupted. I live with it. She stood, smoothing her dress, every movement composed. You need to decide what kind of man you are before someone else decides for you. Is this an ultimatum? He asked. She looked at him then, really looked. No, this is me telling you I won't beg. When she walked away, Adrian felt something fracture, not guilt, fear. The next day, Lena stopped avoiding him. She entered his office without being called, closed the door behind her, and stood her ground. You trapped me, she said. So let's stop pretending this is about work. Adrian studied her carefully. I never lied about what I am. No, Lena replied. You let me discover it slowly. Silence stretched between them, sharp and electric. You want honesty? She continued. Fine. I'm angry. I'm scared. And part of me hates that I don't want you to let go. His jaw tightened. That's not something you say lightly. I'm done being careful, she said. You already crossed every line that mattered. Adrian stepped closer, voice low. If you stay in my orbit, this will cost you. I know, Lena said. The question is, what does it cost you? For the first time, he had no answer ready. That evening, Adrian made a decision. Not the right one. He canceled a board meeting, cleared his schedule, sent his driver away. Lena found him waiting in the underground garage when she left work. You shouldn't be here, she said. I know. Then leave. I can't, Adrian replied. Not anymore. The air between them felt heavy, charged with everything they'd been denying. This ends, Lena said softly. Or it begins. Adrian stepped closer, but stopped just short of touching her. I won't pretend I'm good for you, he said. But I won't lie and say I can walk away. Her breath shook. That's not a choice, she whispered. No, he agreed. It's a confession. And somewhere above them, in the quiet of an empty penthouse, Evelyn packed a suitcase she hadn't planned to use yet. Lena didn't go home that night. She sat in her car in the underground garage long after Adrian disappeared into the shadows, hands gripping the steering wheel, heart racing like she'd narrowly escaped something or missed it entirely. She told herself this was the last time. The lie settled easily. Evelyn left the penthouse at dawn. She didn't wake Adrian. She didn't slam doors. She simply took what she needed and left a note on the kitchen counter. I need space from the man you're becoming. Don't look for me until you know who that is. When Adrian found it hours later, something cold opened in his chest. Not shock, not even grief, loss. And with it came clarity, twisted, dangerous clarity. At the office, Lena felt the shift immediately. Adrian didn't seek her out, didn't summon her, didn't watch her the way he always had. The absence was louder than obsession. By afternoon, she was the one pacing. By evening, she was the one knocking on his door. "You're avoiding me," she said. "I'm respecting you," Adrian replied calmly. "That's new. So is restraint." She studied him, unsettled. "This is punishment." "No," he said. "This is me proving I can stop." That scared her more than his pursuit ever had. "Why now?" she asked. His eyes darkened. "Because if I don't, I lose everything." She swallowed. "And if you do?" "Then I lose you," he answered honestly. The words landed between them, fragile and final. Later that night, Lena made a choice of her own. She didn't call him, didn't text, didn't wait. She showed up. His apartment door opened slowly, surprise flickering across Adrian's face before control slid back into place. "I told you I could stop," he said. "I didn't come here to test you," Lena replied quietly. "I came to stop lying to myself." The silence that followed was unbearable. "I won't be your escape," she continued, "and I won't be your secret." Adrian stepped aside, letting her in. "Then don't be," he said. "Be the truth I can't ignore." The door closed behind them, not with passion, not with relief, with consequence. Evelyn didn't plan to meet Lena. That was the lie she told herself as she sat in the cafe across from the company building, hands wrapped around a cup she hadn't touched. She told herself she was only passing time, only thinking. Then she saw her. Lena walked in alone, coat pulled tight, eyes tired in a way Evelyn recognized instantly. Not exhaustion, conflict. Evelyn stood before she could stop herself. "Lena Moore?" she asked. Lena froze. "Yes?" "I'm Evelyn," she said calmly. "Adrian's wife." The silence that followed felt violent. "I won't make a scene," Evelyn continued. "I just want to talk." Lena's first instinct was to run. Her second was worse. She nodded. They sat across from each other like mirrors that didn't want to reflect. "I didn't plan this," Lena said quickly. "I never meant to—" "I know," Evelyn interrupted. "If you were reckless, I would have known sooner." That kindness hurt more than anger ever could. "He didn't touch me," Lena added, voice tight. "Not until recently." Evelyn absorbed that, breathing carefully. "And now?" Lena looked down. "Now nothing feels clean anymore." Evelyn studied her, really studied her, and felt something unexpected bloom in her chest. Not hatred, grief. "You should leave," Evelyn said quietly, "before he reshapes you into something you won't recognize." Lena's eyes filled. "I tried." "I believe you," Evelyn replied. They stood, no insults, no threats, just two women standing in the wreckage of one man's silence. As Lena walked away, Evelyn knew one thing with painful certainty. Adrian would never forgive himself for this, and she might never forgive him either. That night, Adrian felt the shift before he understood it. Lena was distant, careful, watching him now, not with desire, but evaluation. "You met her," he said. She didn't deny it. "She's not who I expected." "She's smarter than you think," Adrian replied. "That's why this ends," Lena said. The words hit him hard. "You don't get to decide that alone," he said. "I do," Lena replied, "because I finally see the cost." Adrian stepped closer, voice dropping. "And what if I choose you?" She laughed softly, sadly. "You already chose yourself." That was the moment his control finally cracked. Adrian had always believed power was silence. What he didn't understand, until it was too late, was how loud silence becomes when it fractures. The board meeting was supposed to be routine. Quarterly numbers, expansion plans, polite applause. Instead, it felt like a trial. He could feel the eyes on him, lingering, measuring. One of the directors asked a question twice, slower the second time, as if testing whether Adrian was still present at all. "You seem distracted," another said lightly. Adrian smiled. "Perfect. Controlled. Personal matters handled." Another lie. Outside the glass walls of the boardroom, Lena watched from her desk, pulse racing. She had sent HR a request that morning. Formal, documented, undeniable. A transfer. Another branch, another city. She hadn't told Adrian. When his assistant finally approached him mid-meeting and whispered in his ear, something in his expression shifted. Not anger, alarm. He excused himself immediately. "You're leaving." It wasn't a question. Lena stood in his office, calm in a way that scared him. "I asked for a transfer. It's already approved." "You went behind my back." "I went around your control," she corrected. "There's a difference." He stepped closer, voice low. "You think distance fixes this?" "I think staying destroys me," Lena said. "And you don't get to decide which one I choose." "You're making this public," Adrian said sharply. "Do you understand what that does to me?" She met his gaze without flinching. "I understand what you did to me." Silence fell, thick, final. "You won't find what you think you're looking for," he said quietly. "I'm not looking," Lena replied. "I'm leaving." She walked past him, out of his office, out of his control. For the first time since he built his empire, Adrian Blackwood had nothing to hold on to. That evening, Evelyn returned, not to reconcile, to conclude. "I know about the transfer," she said, placing divorce papers on the table. "And I know the board is watching you closely." He didn't argue, didn't plead, just nodded. "I loved you," she added softly, "but love shouldn't feel like erasure." When she left, Adrian sat alone in the quiet penthouse, surrounded by glass and city lights that no longer felt like victory. Only exposure. The city looked different when Adrian no longer owned it. He still walked into the building every morning, still wore tailored suits, still signed documents that moved millions. But something essential had shifted. Like a crown no one could see had been quietly removed. People noticed. Power, he learned, wasn't taken in dramatic moments. It leaked, slowly, through cracks no one bothered to seal. The board reassigned projects, limited his authority. Watched him. They didn't accuse, they waited. At night, the penthouse echoed. Evelyn's absence wasn't loud. It was hollow. No arguments, no closure. Just space where certainty used to live. And Lena was gone. Not erased, not forgotten. Gone by choice. In another city, Lena learned how to breathe again. The new office didn't know her history. No whispered looks. No tension hiding in polished hallways. She worked, she slept, she healed. Slowly, unevenly. Some nights, she still thought of him, not with longing, with understanding. She understood now how power could feel like protection, how attention could masquerade as intimacy, how easy it was to confuse being chosen with being consumed. She promised herself she would never let that happen again, and she meant it. Months later, Adrian received a single email. No subject line, no greeting. "I'm well. Please don't reply." He read it once. Then again, he didn't respond. For the first time, restraint wasn't punishment. It was respect. He closed his laptop and stared out at the city he had once controlled, knowing this was the cost of crossing a line that never belonged to him in the first place. Some losses didn't destroy you. They educated you.
Some choices don't destroy you, they teach you. He learned what power costs when it's abused. She learned the difference between being wanted and being consumed. And in the end, no one walked away untouched. Thank you for listening. This was a dark romance story.